every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power. Over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube, Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o.
Thank you so much for joining me once again. Share this broadcast, okay? Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and then and tell them that Mayegun today, like this broadcast, share it. At the same time, drop your offering. Your offering is liking the video on Facebook. If you are allowed to comment, great. If you're allowed to share, beautiful. And if you're also allowed to like, do the same, because it is about to get started.
Ani Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Ani Esuraki.
At this point, you can also read the caption of the broadcast, which I believe is what attracted you to the video in the first place. Now, beyond the caption, go straight into the description. There lies the body, the entire body that is going to guide this conversation tonight. So share the broadcast. Take your time.
And yes, we like
I go talk.
And yes, we like and yes, we like President Obarusi o. And yes, we like Gómìnà kówó jẹ. And yes, we like ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Motivate you. May I motivate you for 1 second?
Listen down. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to tolerate and make this part of your master plan. You be there, and the other I'll be a you, and I'm a you. Listen down. I'm begging you.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. And yes, we like
Thank you very much. I am not supposed to be smiling because part of what I'm about to share with you tonight is actually a sad news. Fortunately, I can't wear straight face for 3 straight hours, 180 minutes. So you'd have to indulge me. So I'll give facial expression based on what I'm talking about, just to make you more comfortable, to make you a little bit comfortable, because I have been accused many times that my content are so raw and direct that I seem not to care about your mental health. I mean, people told me that sometimes they will listen to a program of Mayegun's Diary Political, and they'll get to a certain point, a particular story will get to them to the point that they might start crying right there in the corner of their room. And some, they will listen to some certain stories and they watch some certain videos that can actually put them in a state of a distress, worry. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try my best then to never be too serious. Even when I'm passing a serious message, I can try my best to sort of diffuse the tension, get the message pass, and at the same time, keep your mental health. What Nigeria is doing to all of us is enough to make all of us go crazy and mad. And listen, 70% of Nigerians have mental health problem, but they are like generally like diagnosed. The frustration, the shege, and everything that an average Nigerian had to experience daily. Now, it's no longer limited to those who are living in Nigeria anymore. If you are living outside Nigeria, you are not spared. So this then means that even when the story is really, really kind of heartbreaking, yeah, and the human in you, the humanity in you, I get to touch that nerve. So there is a way I have to diffuse the tension. Sure you get. So share the broadcast once again. Thank you. Now let's start. So if you are just joining us, once again, I'm going to say good evening to you because it is evening right now here in Glasgow. Good afternoon to you or good morning to you, depends on wherever you are watching from. And this is Mayegun live. For those of you who have been following electoral matter in Nigeria, especially starting from 2015 when APC came in, you probably should be up to date with the usual, typical judicial battle that follows their elections all the time. And in fact, after 2019 or prior to 2019 election, when they removed a supposed uncooperative CJN or Nogen, they brought in a man called Tanko Technicality, a Sharia court judge or a Sharia court administrator, to become the Chief Justice of Nigeria. And in one of his, in one of their court judgments, Supreme Court judgments, the famous statement came that, of course, this election is rigged, but based on technicality. Based on technicality, they cannot cancel the results. In fact, the situation that Nigeria was in, according to Tanko Technicality, Babalawo Ife, the plane driver, he said, the situation of Nigeria is like when somebody is driving a plane. You cannot tell that person when he's driving the plane to come down when the plane is already flying. That is why they cannot cancel the rigged election of 2019 that brought in Bokwari. That was where the famous Tanko Technicality, Babalawo Ife, the plane driver. But again, this technicality played out later in this APC, launched by that Sharia judge, Tanko Technicality. The person that came fourth in APC, the person that came fourth in a governorship election in Imo State. Somebody who, in fact, let me see something. I want to say that so that I can be very factual. Give me 1 second, though. I don't want to say I'm offended. Now, somebody who scored one on, in fact, hang on, I think I have that copy here. Oh, no, I don't. However, I'll bring that up in a moment. It happened in Imo State. Hopeless Uzodigba, who came forth in a governorship election, approached the court. He lost at the tribunal, lost at the appeal, and then he approached the Supreme Court. That was when Supreme Court became the INEC of Nigeria, sorting votes, recounting them, and then declaring a winner based on technicality. The people of Imo State have been seeing that shege under Hopeless Uzodingba since then. Not just the people of Imo State. Immediately, Hopeless Uzodingba, the Supreme Court governor, who came forth in an election, right? The moment he got declared, Imo State became the gateway for the terrorism that eventually enveloping the region today. I'm giving you the timeline. Supreme Court being the final. You can go and get your PVC. You can get macheted, and then you can get chased by thugs and all of them. Eventually, right, you will end up in court where they will tell you, listen, for technical reason, they cannot stop Kolu. And I'm still coming back to that again. That's what Tinubu is really chasing. Not your vote. Not all of this whole thing. He wants that structure, the structure of that criminality, that whatever they do in your election, whatever, go and get 1 million camera everything. When it gets to the Supreme Court of Nigeria, you will see different plane drivers there driving the injustice that is about to consume Nigeria on behalf of Nigeria. Now, what happened? The Senate President of Nigeria, his name is Ahmed Lawan. Do you know him? Do you know his... Okay, hang on. I think I do have that one. The man on the left, his name is Ahmed Lawan. He is the APC, Egbekegbese, current Senate President of Nigeria. Okay? And the man on the right is also a member of APC, Egbekegbe. But why are we talking about him? They are APC now. That is what I'm about to tell you. Right? You see the man on the left, the Senate President of Nigeria, right now. At a point, he was going to contest to be a senator again. He is from Yobe North, in Yobe State. But the cabal that are trying to turn the neck of Bodilon Shikin, Tinubu, the cabal decided to start sourcing for potential candidates that will then become the consensus candidate. I don't know if all of you remember that consensus at a point. Don't worry, I'll remind you and I'll show you. Consensus. Because those that are trying to uproot the neck of Tinubu right now, inside that asshole rock, according to numerous reports, confirmed, they want power to remain in northern Nigeria. So they started sourcing for potential candidates. That's how they met Rubber Stamp Lawani. Now, when they met with Lawani, the plan was perfect. The party chairman, APC, Egbekegbe's chairman, was in on it and everything. And look at this guy. His name is Tunde Sabiu, young man. I think they said he's about 31 or so. Very young man. You see this guy you are seeing on your screen? That is the most powerful young man in the entire Nigeria. At least, courtesy, he is the private secretary to Kwara. Okay? So, what makes him powerful? I'll tell you. You know, Nigeria is, what do you call it? Is or you can call it the patronage system. You get? People are looking for what and how they can also benefit or get invited to the table. And we are talking about those who are like a big men, powerful men that you see in your newspaper. Big men, but controllers of industries, they call them captains of industries. People who are like normally billionaires or this or, you know what I mean? Political heavyweights. If they need any favor from Bokwari, after passing through everything, if this guy says Bokwari has no time to see you, of course he won't see you. It doesn't matter who you are, including his wife. So that, and the death of Abba Kyari further gave him that privilege. Now, that privilege is that he can go inside Bokwari's office, walk out again and say, Bokwari said, who you want to go confirm whether Buhari said that or not? Who are you going to call and say, okay, let me call somebody who is going to tell me whether Buhari said that or not? Who? You want to call Buhari? Oh, okay. You should have called him on the phone then. And then you realize that even when you call him on the phone, that is the guy that will pick the call. So this guy became so powerful. Yeah? And today, they are pointing fingers at him. Are you with me? He's a multi-billionaire, by the way, one of those who came from Daura, northern Nigeria and all of them, right? Private secretary of Bokwari. So, they met Lawan and they told him, Bokwari has picked him as his successor. And he said they should put all the machinery in place for him. I'm telling you a true story now, before we come to what happened today. At that point, everything that they say Buhari said we should, whether na loan, whether anything Bokwari, anything, pass, stamp, approve, ni. I'm telling you. And you can tell the rate at which they borrowed money in Nigeria, the rate at which the Nigeria debt skyrocketed between 2020 and 2023, the one we are in now, you will fear. So he did the job, he delivered. But here was the plan. The Kaaba, they don't have any delegates other than to see if they could make Bokwari tell everybody to everybody form line. Go behind Ahmed Lawan. In fact, to prove to you that Bokwari was in on it. Lawan was in on it. He was no longer interested in Senator. President, he want to be president. Because this Buhari said Lawan is going to be the next president. Even though he's from northern Nigeria. They declared, they did something. Look at this. Consensus candidate. They announced it about 48 hours before their convention, the primaries. Inside the Asshole Rock, they announced Lawan as the consensus candidate, presidential candidate of APC. Remember? Come on, you couldn't have forgotten that. I'll show you.
All came to see the president, but the governor of this state excused himself. And it is within his democratic right to excuse himself. But 12 out of 14 is a supermajority. 13 out of 14 is an even bigger supermajority. And the 13 are possible to the president today. And what our leader has communicated to him is a summary of the discussions with Mr. President.
Well, he said he was not consulted.
He was invited to the meeting, he had a clash, he didn't make it, we proceeded to make. Look, I have said this in this show over and over. I don't know why people assume that when you have 100 people, everyone must agree before a decision can be taken. That is the key to analysis paralysis. When the majority, or if a super majority like 12 out of 14 takes a decision, everyone is bound. There is no time that everyone will agree on an issue. It's part of human nature. But what is the majority view of northern governance? We represent the majority. We need a super majority.
Tunde Sabi and this group, as they are alleging, prompted El Rufaya and those governors who actually controls delegates to go and visit Bokwari. When they got to him, after making an announcement, there was going to be the consensus candidate. When they met with him, you know what he said? He said, "No, I don't have any candidate. No, I don't have any special anything." So quickly, El Rufaya and gang quickly used that podium, that Aso Rock, right, to say, no, we have confirmed. You know, they went there after that announcement. That was the beginning, Abi. But the man himself, Lawan, at a point, he said this.
Well, let me thank you for your interest in my screening and how it goes. It went on very well. I had discussions with the panel. I was asked very important questions about the manifesto of our party, about the activities of our administration, about my vision for Nigeria as an APC candidate, not aspirant, and my vision for Nigeria as the president of Nigeria from 2023, May 29. It was a very pleasant experience for me because I was looking forward to that engagement to express myself very well to my party through the screening committee on why I'm running to be the president of our great nation from 2023. Fundamentally, what are those issues that our party stands for? The APC, our great party, stands for constitutional amendment to make governance far better, to take government closer to the people, devolution of powers, to ensure that Nigerians get best deal in terms of governance, to ensure that more resources are devolved from the federal government to the states and local governments, make it commensurate with devolution of powers. We also
let me save you all the balabulu rubbish he said. It's quite a long video. I just wanted you to see him. He said, as a candidate, not as an aspirant, candidate, he was confident. Seriously, it was a done deal. But at the end of the day, this guy no see first, no see second, no see third, not even fourth. So Tinubu had about 1,200 votes of the delegates, courtesy of El Rufaya and co, who decided to fight back since Bokwari told them, you don't get any candidate, you don't get any special person. So they just mop up. Amechi scored about 320. Pastor Ruga scored about 230. And the, what do you call it? The Kogi Evander Olifidi, Yeye Bello. Yeye Bello scored, I think, 40, be 41. This guy that was pushed, then that got the first set of high blood pressure that Kolu suffered. This guy behind it. And the second high blood pressure Kolu is suffering as well today in APC. The same people behind the first one are behind the second one. But unfortunately for Kolu, there is even like a bigger ones outside APC for him to worry about too. Only for everybody to wake up today. So you know what happened? When he got beaten, and he couldn't really like even get second or third, they went back to the drawing board. By then, his own party, APC, they have elected somebody else as the party candidate. That one bought form, filled the form, passed through their screening. went through the primaries, was declared winner. Immediately, Lawan, Senate President, came down from that high horse that the cabal inside the Aso Rock put him on. He just remembered, okay, wait, where's my Senate ticket? I said, what Senate ticket? There's no Senate ticket anymore. Somebody else has won that already. No. Why? Am I not going to go back to Senate again? Say, no, you are not. You are not going to have to come back to Yobe. That's when they started the abracadabra. Guess what? Person will not participate in primaries. He went straight to court. No, first, they just removed the name of the winner and put his name there. Which kind of thing be this? APC. What's going on? Remember, it's the anointed candidate of the Old Rock. According to, that was when that one went to court. He decided to take them to court. Like, what is all this? What, Then the court said, the guy is the winner. Like, there is no document to back this guy challenging the winner. I mean, where your form? APC, they brought out a form for him, for this criminal Lawan. Yes, Senate form, they brought it out. Signed by the chairman of the party. Passed through all the normal procedure when the guy was running to be president. So all those documents were the ones he's presenting in court by saying the convention that produced that guy that won. Let me show you his face again. The guy that won, this one on the left is now challenging the winner, which is on the right. That the Congress that produced him in that convention, right? That committee that organized it, they did not get the right signature of approval to conduct the primaries. What about your own? They said no. The party then used consensus. What's going on? So they went to court. The guy won in the Federal High Court. This Lawan appealed it. The guy won again at the appeal court. When he won at the appeal court, right? Lawan now said, I will leave everything on to Allah. I'm not going to challenge it. Allah is this, Allah is that, blah, 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 blah. 2 days after that, they don't carry and go Supreme Court too. Is the job of the Supreme Court not to interpret the argument and judgment of the Federal High Court, the Appeal Court, compare them and make their ruling, Abi? That was where the technicality started. Person will no contest. He didn't contest election, no. It was not part of the primaries, oh. You know, what you've seen before, where like somebody who contested election came forth and Supreme Courts that acted as INEC recount and said, no, the fourth person is the number one. And the number one person is now number fourth. This one, no contest election at all. You know by form. Same thing happened in Ebonyi, where Devil Umahi was also deceived by the Old Rock cabal. Let me tell you that story too. Very interesting. When the pressure of IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was becoming unbearable, especially for all the Igbo politicians and also especially the Igbo governors, every time they are in Abuja. So every time they are in Abuja, right, they will be accusing them of sponsoring IPOB simply because they hate Buhari. Meanwhile, the states like Ebonyi, Enugu, Anambra, Abia, where else there? They were experiencing, right, pocket of Fulani terrorist attacks every now and then. They were experiencing that, but it wasn't as escalated as it became. So they now said, and Buhari loved so many of you, especially you. David, I swear, You are a very good man, gentleman, engineer, doing a great job. I have come to Ebonyi. You don't belong, you don't. The Fulanis are not allowed in eastern Nigeria. So they accuse their governors. They have said, you governors are not allowing the Fulani terrorists in your forest. So that was where I told you it's an interesting story, and it's a true story. So that was where Devulumai jumped in. When they put together a package and agreement to get Mazi Nnamdi Kanu released through judicial process, RNG, paddy behind the scenes. So George Wisoya release him, then Buhari will just release him after some people came together to sign a shorty for him. Sure, you get, it was all political arrangement to look like, hey, So immediately Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was released. Yeah. The next step was to call the meetings of Southeast leaders in Enugu. Do you know the facilitator of the meeting? Devulumai. So when they met in Enugu, they were expecting Nnamdi Kanu to walk in, right? And as typical, the door is closed now, so yeah, let's talk man to man. So they were throwing things at him like, listen, you have done so well, you are a great man. Buhari loves you so much, you may not know, he loves you. In fact, he said, just anything you want, anything. Just say it. Do you know what Nnamdi Kanu was asking them? He listed 10 demands. 10 demands. Out of the 10 demands that Nnamdi Kanu asked from them, the last one is referendum for Biafra. The number 1 to number 9 is about what most of you are facing today. Economic poverty, underdevelopment of Eastern Nigeria, the lack of presence of the federal government of Nigeria in Eastern Nigeria, creating jobs for the young people, providing security for the generality of the people, providing them access to real economic access for the majority of the people of Eastern Nigeria. Bring them into this, you won't believe it. They were like, waiting be all of this. What's this? Is that not what we are doing? We are governors. We are taking care of the people. We are trying to do everything. I said, no, you are not. So he wasn't asking for anything for himself. So at that point, they said, we have to reschedule. Devulumai is not getting anything concrete that he was going to take back. Well, at that point, it didn't take long. When they now said, listen, now that Nnamdi Kanu is not here, do you know that President Buhari is looking to make an Igbo man the next president of Nigeria? Oh, really? And he's already pointing at you. You are his favorite. That was when Devulumai, Lawan, that was when they all went rogue, using the position they occupy to impress Buhari and impress Buhari's cabal. You know what happened? Devulumai returned back to Ebonyi, started putting his house in order, and told these people there, we are going to APC. Really? Why? You are already in your second term. So why go to, you don't know that you have another election that it is at risk or something. Why do you want to go to APC? He was offered the presidency, first Igbo presidency. To now prove his loyalty, Devulumai, that cried 6 months before he crossed to APC, he cried in Ebonyi, where 6 communities were attacked same time, and more than 80 people were slaughtered and killed. Devulumai appeared in one of those communities, and in his statement, right, he said, we gave these people everything they wanted. We provided them this, we provided them support. I am going to call all their leaders and speak to them. This is really, really sad. Our people didn't do anything. They said that those who came to kill our people, right? A day before they came, the ones that are Fulanis in Ebonyi, in those communities, they just packed all their bags and left. Then the day after they were all gone, the attack took place. This is true life story. Go and Google it. David Devumayi and the Fulani killings in I just don't remember the names of the communities. Just Google that, you'll see it. It's there. 6 months after, Devumayi carried the broom and he said he's now in APC. Why? Because he's the favorite Igbo to be the next president of Nigeria. So immediately APC said, oh yeah, everybody come and buy form. The Kaba told him, go and buy the form now. You are the favorite, go and buy the form. Devumayi put together Ebubeagu. Just like we have Amotekun in Yoruba land, in southwest Nigeria. Igbo governors put together Ebubeagu, not to hunt the Fulani terrorists that are making the lives of the people in the rural communities hell. They set up security outfit to hunt down IPOB. Seriously. You have no idea. Ebubeagu will go to a community. You know, people know themselves. It's all this politics that has brought in some wedge into the relationship of people. And most of this wedge that politics brings into the people are all facilitated because of the poverty in the land. So wherever your butter is going, your bread is going to be buttered. If they say you should go and kill your brother, some are willing to do that. It's just like me knowing, AK, I know say you be OPC. This also I know who you be. You know that in area, everybody will say, I know you. You are Yoruba Nation. I know you, Baba. You are OPC. Alaye. So then politics happened. We need to hunt down all the OPCs because politically they are going to ruin our chance of being welcome to the table at the federal level. Oh yeah, so you that know OPC, so everybody come want to recruit security. And you start going, I say, I know AK now. I know one OPC for my area. I know that Egbon. Now that Egbon I'll first deal with. So now they put uniform on you, give you gun. And instead of it to go after criminals, real criminals, then you start hunting your own fellow brothers and sisters. That is the picture of Ebubeagu in Eastern Nigeria. They just added to the terrorism, the military occupation. Here you get. The Eastern Nigeria has been militarily occupied. Is there anything called occupied? Well, they occupied, rather. I think that's the military word. Eastern Nigeria has been militarily occupied since day one that Boko Haram and APC came to power. And thousands of people have been killed. Others have gone missing. So the terrorism that is really politically motivated, they escalated it to impress Buhari. That, listen, we can deal with all this IPOB, don't worry, we know them. Trust me, Nigeria is not breaking, don't worry. They didn't know that they are being used. So when they were done with him, Devumayi is now a spectator, somebody with a clap behind the Bulu Bala, the sick old man. That majority of them are now saying that, in private, God knows what they are saying about Tinubu, but in public, hey, they will clap, they will smile. Hey. You see what I'm talking about? That's exactly what happened to Ahmed Lawan. So when Devumayi was running to become president of Nigeria, somebody else was contesting to be senator for his senatorial district. So immediately he realized that they've played him. They don't play all of us, Jerry. Never to go back to where he come from. He decided to use whatever is left in the card. They always deal them. They give them all different cards. They deal them different cards, different promises. All you can do to impress us, just do something to impress us. Look at Kolu impressing Bokwari. Ayema Nikao. Devumayi returned back to Ebonyi and he started dragging the ticket with the real winner. As I am talking to you now, they don't use the power that be. Give Devumayi person with no contest senatorial election. They don't give them senatorial tickets. So, all of these, I am saying them to you because even when you think there is a bit of a way out, these guys set the rule, okay? And they know. That is why they call it structure. Sure, you don't get it. When they tell you about structure, let me give you an idea of what their structures simply mean. Sorry, I may not be able to table them in the alphabetical order. Sure, you get, but you will understand what I'm trying to say. In Nigeria, when you talk of structure, okay, there is a category of impoverished, selfish, greedy, lazy, Nigerians. These layabouts are called political foot soldiers. Now, there are people who put them in that poverty state, using the instrumentality of a government at different level for different years, okay? So that basket, right? Those who put them there, controls them. Now, if you want to join, you would then have to bargain with the people who control those structures. And what are those bargains? How are they maintaining the structure? There is a poverty structure, selfish layabout criminals, turn by turn rogues who is waiting for their turn to loot and steal from you. So that basket there, to feed their greed, once in a while, they feel call them, give them rice. Once in a while, they can call them, give them empowerment wheelbarrow. Call them, give their children scholarship, WAEC, and all of those things to entice them until the election proper. So when you need that, you will then need to feed the feeder. You know what I mean? You will feed the person managing that demography that will eventually decide whether you have a structure or not. That's stage one. Stage two are the ones who are like now selected. They are called delegates in political parties. Their job and their entire aspiration in life is not about ideologies. Ideology, ideology we go shop. If ideology, they are those who are like handpicked by the feeder, who is like the godfather. Okay, so they are called delegates. Now, if you want to use that structure, you will also pay for it. Okay, so when you pay for that, oh, hang on, I'm coming back. Let me give me one moment. If my screen is blinking that way, it simply means that the battery is running low. So give me just 1 minute. Do you know that this Cynthia, this your, what do you call Cynthia Maxwell? You see this your super chat that the comment on it is really it's quite funny. And sometimes one really have to like breathe in, breathe out, okay, to respond to this kind of utterance. Okay, utterance is like this. Somebody even just said that Mayegun is sometimes, hang on, say Mayegun is xenophobic. I am xenophobic. Mayegun is what's that again? Hang on, just give me a sec. I saw it earlier. Just don't worry, please. Say Mayegun tribalism, xenophobic, but sometimes speak the truth. I am what do you call that again? I am a tribalist. I am xenophobic, but sometimes I do say the truth. Can you believe that? Then Cynthia, you are like, this one is that's the one I'm saying, like Mayegun, is it that black people are not allowed to make changes to the world map? I must only dream within the borders European drill. Yeah, that's Africa, yeah. and which means that Nigeria is the identity given to us. A lot of us have kind of from art, we've rejected that. Sure, you get. But we all know that officially, right, whether we say we don't want to be part of Nigeria, right? Officially, we are still, except we are stateless, or if you have other citizenship and all that, right? Officially, you still have to be a Nigerian somewhere. But a lot of people knows that from art, I mean, many people's art, right? A lot of us have detached ourselves from what is Nigeria. Until that then comes to the physical reality. Here you get, we just have to what? We just have to keep teaching ourselves and continue to enlighten ourselves that, we know who we are. No matter how this artificial, no matter how this artificial boundaries, like you said, here you get. So that's why I said sometimes you just have to like breathe in, breathe out, because a lot of our people, right? Some said that what's they call that thing in English again? Comprehension. Here you get. Comprehension is a big issue for our people, and sometimes that's why I said sometimes you just have to like breathe in, breathe out. Because somebody who saw that or who saw this on the screen actually called me tribalistic, xenophobic. And I'm like, okay. Being tribalistic means that I proclaim my tribe as superior over other tribes. That's not true, right? And then being xenophobic means that I turn tribe against tribes. I turn people against themselves because of their tribe or where they come from. That's being a xenophobe, Abi. But I have actually been like this, I've had Mayegun's diary political so if I'm tribalistic, then I should possibly just be championing for Tinubu right now, shouldn't I? I mean, I should. No be so. If I'm xenophobic, as we speak today, a lot of you are non-Yorubas. You probably would never feel comfortable around somebody like Mayegun. So that's why I say comprehension can be a bit of a problem for a lot of people. So thank you very much. Your country first. Mayegun is not xenophobic. And a lot of people believe that if you want to go to a platform where you come from doesn't really matter, and then you still feel comfortable around the conversation, okay? But if you think, talking about the criminal leaders, okay, your criminal leaders, depends on whatever, you see, that too is also a wrong argument. And I'll tell you something, right? I, who is a Nigerian officially, I am a victim of poor leadership. I'm a victim of a misrule. I'm a victim of a ruined country. And I have a right to express my displeasure against those who have contributed to that, to whatever underdevelopment or victimhood that the system of Nigeria meted on me. And you may have a different experience about Nigeria. We all possibly have a different experience about Nigeria. Some of you, when people talk about what they passed through in that same system, they are just like telling you tales by moonlight. Here you get. So we have different experience. So when I'm using my own experience to speak back at those who contributed to that, you don't turn around and say, because that person I'm talking about is from your tribe, therefore I am attacking your tribe. Do you understand? You don't turn around and say, oh, because the person I'm talking about, a politician, is a member of your religion, then suddenly this Mayegun is bigot. This because of them. But that is you trying to take painkillers for the criminals that should be held responsible for all they have done. Sure you get. So I would take that as out of ignorance, okay? And indeed, hopefully one day, because you know what some people believe, which is so wrong. I, as a Mayegun, today, I happen to be one of those remitting money back into Nigeria economy, subsidizing Nigeria. You see, whenever they say You have over 30 billion, 34, I mean, sorry, 36 billion dollars remitted back into Nigeria economy. Are you with me? I am one of them. Now, being one of them means when those who are supposed to keep Nigeria better, keep Nigeria safe, cut corruption, are you with me? And bring real development, something that brings meaningful to life. When they lay their hands on all this money through taxes and other extortionist arrangement they put in place, my money still end up in the wallet of the criminals controlling Nigeria. But you know what they do? When they lay their hands on those money, when they lay their hands on those money, they take them out of Nigeria. That's what they do. So here is the irony. Speaking about the criminals, I am bad. And I hate Nigeria. But those who are stealing your money, you know them physically, you know them. Taking it out of Nigeria, dipping you in debt and impoverishing millions. You consider them as those who love Nigeria. That's the irony. But we know your game. We know. Don't worry. Thank you very much, Cynthia. Here is another one. How can you be tribalist when your ethnic identity was what was celebrated to tens of thousands of years and usurped by force and by force, right? And Nigeria imposed. Embracing your true identity is not tribalism. You get what I mean? I've just explained that anyway. This Mayegu is tribal because there are some of you. Let me tell you something. There are some of people, right? There are people. They are Yorubas, they are non-Yorubas. All generally, they usually project their own bigotry on other people. Do you know that? There are Igbos that it no matter how long they have been listening to Mayegu. Are you with me? Every now and then, they will still be feeling surprised. This guy hasn't changed. This one is a very rare Yoruba. But if you ask him that, that's tribal. That's some level of racism. So what is your impression about the Yorubas? If Mayegu, or you are waiting for a time Mayegu is going to say something that you're going to say, hey, I knew it, he's a Yoruba man. But I'm not a racist too. No, I'm not racist too. I'm not bigot and all that. So when you now look at somebody and say, now Yoruba man, they talk like this. Wow. I never knew that Yorubas are Yoruba. I didn't know Yorubas are very, very sincere like this. That's you being a racist, but you would deny it. Check your conscience. Same thing with some of you who are Yorubas too. You look at somebody and say, Omo, I have never met an Igbo man that is so honest like you. And they ask you, how many Igbo men have you met? No, not really, but I've heard a lot about the Igbos. So majority of you are that bigots too. So when you look around and you feel bored, you project your bigotry on other people. All you need is just a window, something, a slip, something. Let them say something. So you can say, hey, did you hear that? Did you hear that? I told you. He hates, you know what I mean? There are people like you, and I know how to deal with people like you. And guys, right, don't think I got distracted. I'm not distracted though. I purposely pick that conversation so that I could use this medium, right, to say what I have said. Now, I've told people I am not on there. I am not here for you to like me and make me, no. You can like me in the morning, and you don't like me in the afternoon because of what I'm going to say in the afternoon, what I'm going to say the next minute. But your job is to check, right, if whatever Mayegu says is a lie. So that's why I say I don't want to be your friend that is with that condition. So thank you, Cynthia, for that. Let's go back to Kolu and Isone Kaba and those who have become a part of the whole bunch. 84 people were killed in Katsina State. 84 vigilantes. They were slaughtered inside the mosque by Boko Haram just a few days ago. Are you? Yeah. Act like you are surprised. Pretend that you are surprised. 84 people. Oh my God. That was days ago. It didn't make any real news. And there were no reactions at all. So now that I've said it, you can pretend to be surprised. Like, yeah, pretend to be surprised. Because that's exactly what happened in Katsina State. Katsina is where Kwara comes from. He is the president of Nigeria. Are you with me? And now, I don't tell you, I don't leave devil. I just use Devuluma as an example of those who were also promised, used for the same APC, Egbekebese tickets. So when they lost out, they ended up being senatorial candidates that they never contested for. But we are now in Katsina. Let's go to Katsina. Because in Katsina, where they slaughtered 84 people, they were vigilantes. They are vigilantes working with the Nigeria military, going after Fulani terrorists, going after Boko Haram. God knows who gave them the intel. Are you with me? God knows who gave the terrorists the intel. They ambushed them in the mosque and they slaughtered them. So Kolu was in Katsina today to commiserate with them after they had to suspend their campaign in Oyo State because of no fuel and no money. However, in Katsina, where Kolu was today, he gave them 100 million naira to support the victims. And then he also promised that he is going to provide and support the wives of the widow and widowers. Hang on, no. She been a woman be widow. Now man be widower. Now a woman will lose her husband, be widow. Because sometimes I told you, if you want to understand Kolu, you would have to calm down, pick every word by word, because as they say, he speaks the language of the gods. So he told them in Katsina, he said, I will take care of the wives of the widows and the widowers. Do you know what actually came to my mind talking about the widows and the widowers? You remember that my fellow widows, the APC, Egbekebe, used against Patience Jonathan back then. Do you remember when they were my fellow widows, to display illiteracy and other stuff to us? That's what came to my mind, and I'm going to look for that clip somehow, and I'm going to share that ball. Not just that. Then he told them that he will ensure that they are safer when he becomes president. Bokwari was there. Are you with me? Yeah, Bokwari was there to say, okay, since I cannot provide security for my people, and today we are witnessing the burial of over 80 of them. You know something? Let's go to that Katsina before I started picking on that, okay? So Bokwari was the first to land. Then I think to the waiting hall. Move that thing. I don't know which of them. It's called the thing I should remove, or the super charts, or the whatever. I shall remove something. Because immediately after that, right? I think they first went to a palace where he made the pledge. But some people said that the money will be paid in old Naira notes as the deadline for the changing and the spending of the old Naira notes. It's going to be the 10th of February. Do you know that the court just ruled this afternoon? Yeah, the court ruled that Emefiole, that told people, you remember Emefiole said, if you can't change your money by the 10th of February, you won't be able to spend it, but you can take it to the bank and they will change it for you. The politicians are asking the Bokwari, Tinubu and co, they are asking the Bokwari to allow you to be able to spend the new note and the old note together until June 31st. There is no June 31st, by the way, okay? But until June 31st. Are you with me? So a court judgment now came that Emefiole cannot do that. He gave them 100 million naira. So let's disburse this money quickly before that deadline. Are you with me?
We can promise you wholehearted. Governor, too, thank you for consistent consultation and dependability on advice. Katsina withdrawal, growth, stability, and prosperity. We will be back here. We will bring the great history of the people back with joy and happiness. We will never go into money, the darkness of sorrow. Son, well, I thank God for the challenge He gave you recently, forgiveness. We thank God that you are still on the throne, happy and well-being. May God provide you a very longer life and keep you in good health. May God Almighty keep our president. There's no way you write about him that you will not mention Katsina. There's no way you talk about him that you will not be tied to Katsina. That is why, to all of us who are his followers, we have to know how we behave, have the understanding that there's a name that's as precious and as great as many other names.
What is Kolu saying? Somebody was asking. What is Kolu saying? Abashi, you go to listen. You want to pick what? What are you expecting? Like, you're expecting some